What do you do when you start to miss somebody who is dead? Miss them. I watched my father die. I was there for his last moments and it's a memory forever ingrained in me, those last moments. But when I think of that time, which normally saddens me, I immediately think about all the good times we had, the valuable life advice I got from him, and that helps. Edit. First, I want to thank you all for sharing your kind words and messages, sharing your stories and the current phases you are in when it comes to losing someone close to you. There's no magical process or words I can offer any of you to make it better. I can only share from my own experience that it just took time and trying to always remember the good times. We both loved wrestling and football. We both loved conversations. We both loved some whiskey and a nice big steak together. Those and many more good memories I hold and cherish. Thank you as well for those of you kind enough to spend some of your hard-earned money to award me as well. I will calculate the amount given and pledge to donate to a local charity. I try to think of something else. I lost my twin sister 6 years ago to suicide. I never thought of life without her. We came into the world together. I never thought we would leave together. It is unbearable. A man I knew for 13 years died in February of this year. He was a father to me and several of my friends who lived in our neighborhood. He was always kind and loved us all terribly. He was a mechanic for a long time and always showed me how to fix my car and helped me understand manuals and schematics. He even took me to get my permit the first and second BC I failed it time. I cried for days. I have been lucky in the sense that not many people who are close to me have died, but I felt this. Best advice I can give is to not bottle it up. If you need to cry, then cry. I had a shot of Jack for him and I lit a candle for him the night he passed. Rest in peace, Harvey. You were incredibly loved. We'll miss you. I hope God welcomes you with open arms. Cry. First I get sad, and that makes me wish I could have done things differently. And then I remember there are a lot of people in my life who are still alive, but won't be forever. So I check in with them and try to do and say the things I wish I had done or said with those who died. If they died recently and they still have their phone number set up, call it, listen to their voicemail. I did this a lot after my best friend died when I was 17. There was something so comforting about picking up the phone to call her and hearing her bubbly voice saying, "Hi, it's me. Leave me a message," and knowing she was smiling the entire time she was recording it. Talk about them. Reminisce about the time spent with them. Allow myself to be sad that they're gone. My best friend died in 2015. I miss her a lot. Edit. Holy shit, I did not expect to wake up to such a response to my comment. Thank you for the awards, the kind words about my loss, and additional words of support, advice, solidarity and shared loss. I still have my dad's texts on his old number. When I miss him, I update my life through there to him. I know it's silly to be sending messages to a disconnected phone, but it helps. When I'm really feeling down, I still have an old voicemail he left me on my birthday years ago where he sings to me and tells me how much he loves me and how proud he is of the man I have become. It's been 3 years since he passed and it has become easier to deal with, but it still hurts. Plant a tree in their memory and watch it grow into something beautiful. Remember the good times. They wouldn't want you to feel down. Dad died in 2004, Mom in 2017. I haven't stopped grieving for them yet. Mainly I cry, go visit their resting place, and talk to them. I talk to them sounds stupid, but I just talk to them about how much I miss them, and about my day. It takes a while, and is definitely better done alone, but it just gives you a chance to vent out without making anyone else have to burden your info. Engage yourself in an activity or pastime that connects you with them. I usually listen music we listened with my late girlfriend. I've lost a number of people close to me. I will speak to them. I'm a committed atheist and believe that nothing remains after we die, but it helps anyway. If it's just a tickle of grief, I'll usually think something like, Damn, X would have thought that was so cool. If it's a bigger, pressing grief, I'll talk to them out loud, or in my head. I wish you were here for this, or I learned this today. I thought you'd think it was neat or just fuck. I miss you C's. My grandmother passed away 20 years ago. I still miss her at times. If you find an answer, let me know. Chaplain here. Honestly, just let yourself miss them. Instead of trying to distract yourself and force yourself to do something else, just let yourself feel it. If you need to cry, get mad, smile, laugh, just find a place you can either be by yourself or with someone who knows how to just sit with you and let whatever be a feeling happen and then let it subside. Grief tends to come in waves, and instead of trying to fight the current and not let it move you at all, it helps to give a little, let yourself grieve, miss them, and when the feelings subside a little bit, to keen a few more steps. There's no getting back to normal, because the normal you knew can't ever be there again. You've got to learn the new normal, and there's going to be some growing pains and residual pain from losing that person. Just let yourself be yourself, and don't try and condemn any feelings you might think are bad, that is. Anger, sadness, crying, etc. They are just sensations like pain, tickling, etc. They are telling your body something, in this case, that you're hurt, so let yourself be hurt, and give yourself time to heal. Just be patient with yourself. I tend to wallow in it. May is a rough month for me. My mom died 20 years ago as of May 23rd. Her birthday is May 4th. Mother's Day is in May. Constant reminders. But missing her is my reminder she was here. If it's bad enough, in talk with my best friend or my dad about her memories we have. It helps. My dad died last summer. When I miss him, I think about all the good times we spent as a family, him getting to know his daughters-in-law, family dinners, childhood camping trips, fixing up the house together. Usually I cry a lot too, which is completely fine. I try not to think about how he died, accident while doing construction on my brother's house, on his retirement day. Just remember the good times. It'll hurt, maybe forever, but he's still with me every day. Like others have suggested I talk to them, I also include them in my daily thoughts about things or life. Lost my brother over a year ago, and I talk to him all the time. He still makes fun of me, picks on me, congratulated me, and helps me make decisions. I was at his house doing some work this past Christmas time. The house was built by my grandfather, who I never met. I knew my brother and father both would have an input in how I was doing the repair, but as I worked in that shop I spoke with 3 generations about how I was doing it, and how I knew it wasn't perfect, but the best I could do. My grandfather even stuck up for me. I guess my point is keep them in your life. This popped up first thing in my feed today. I had a close friend of mine pass away in 2013 and today would have been his 27th birthday. I am taking this as a sign. The comments were helpful to read. I miss him a lot D. Honestly, I just cry. I write them a letter. Trigger warnings, murder, violent content. My mother was murdered when I was 16. It was quite difficult to find closure, since she was shot with an AK-47 in the face, while working in our small grocery store, owned by a few past generations of my father's family. We lived in Mexico at the beginning of the drug war. My mother's face was disfigured to a point that it seemed fake. It had to be reconstructed with what seemed like wax. I was in shock for a few years, possibly until 19 years old. I kept believing she had staged her murder so that we could run away. Obviously, I was mistaken. I even believed for a moment she had staged her death to run away with a lover. The mind in shock will come to irrational conclusions. I've been able to have some closure by writing her letters when I miss her, when I need her, when things get difficult. I address unresolved issues and it truly helps heal the wound. It has been 11 years since the tragic incident. I would tell you, writing has truly helped me heal. I'm okay now. Sometimes I do need to get a bit of the pain and the weight off my chest, like this instance. I hope you find some closure, my friend. I know this might sound silly to some, but my cat passed away February 12th, and I still don't know if I'm going to be okay. He was the best thing that ever happened to me. I adopted him when he was 4 or 5 and gave him a home for 13 years. We had so many good times and I have a million photos, but I can't escape the guilt for all of the things I did wrong when his health was failing. We were at the vet once a month, and I still couldn't keep him healthy. He started being scared of me from the constant medication, and it broke my heart because he was my little nugget and I loved him so much, and I just wanted to spend lots of time with him and keep him happy towards the end. I made the decision to end it at home with my favorite vet. It was a beautiful day, to be honest. He was happy and he left the earth eating tuna fish. I can't even think about him for a second without absolutely breaking down. Cat tax. Think about a funny moment and laugh.